There's something you put on your plate almost every day, and it could be silently killing your memories without you even realizing it. Have you ever forgotten where you left your keys? Or someone's name? And thought it was just part of getting older? What if I told you there could be an invisible enemy, hidden in your diet, capable of shrinking your brain, killing your nerve cells, and making you increasingly forgetful? And the worst part? It's something that most people consume every single day, thinking it's perfectly harmless. Today, I'm going to share what science has discovered about the devastating effects of added sugar on the human brain. And more importantly, how to protect yourself before it's too late. What I'm about to say might sound like an exaggeration, but it's the truth that no one is telling you. Very few people know that the brain represents only about 2% of our body weight. Yet it consumes up to 20% of all the energy we produce. In other words, it needs glucose, but in the right amount. It's like fuel. In excess, it becomes poison. The problem begins when there are constant spikes in blood glucose. And that doesn't happen only when you eat obvious sweets like cakes or candies. Even people who think they're eating healthy might be consuming hidden sugar in bread, sauces, juices, and even yogurts. And here's something interesting. Some foods that are considered healthy can contain just as much sugar as soft drinks. For example, a simple light yogurt can have 15 grams of sugar, almost 4 teaspoons. And nobody notices. When there's too much sugar in your blood, your body produces more insulin to try to remove it. And high insulin levels damage the blood vessels in the brain, harming circulation and the supply of nutrients to brain cells. It also directly affects areas like the hippocampus, which is crucial for memory and learning. And that's when memory lapses start to appear. You know that feeling of walking into a room and forgetting why you went there? Or forgetting where you left your phone, even though you were just holding it? This might be much more than simple distraction. Various studies confirm this connection. In 2013, scientists published in the New England Journal of Medicine that the higher your blood sugar, the higher your risk of dementia, even in people without diabetes. Another study from the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease showed that people who consume a lot of sugar have a smaller hippocampus, the area responsible for creating new memories. And that's not all. Sugar also fuels inflammation in the brain, something directly linked to the death of neurons. Did you know that inflammation in the brain even has a name? Neuroinflammation. It's connected to diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other forms of dementia. And it's silent, it doesn't hurt, and it doesn't give warnings. It gradually destroys neural connections little by little. And you might be wondering, how can sugar cause so much damage? Because in addition to all this, excess sugar does something even worse. It addicts your brain. Yes, sugar activates reward areas in the brain in the same way as drugs like nicotine or even cocaine. That's why so many people say they just can't live without sweets. Studies show that the brain releases dopamine, the pleasure hormone, when you eat sugar. The problem is that, over time, your brain needs bigger and bigger doses to feel the same pleasure. And in this process, your nerve cells become overloaded. Now let's take a closer look at the 9 main harms that sugar can cause to your brain. 9 harms of sugar to the brain. 1. Inflames blood vessels. Excess sugar inflames blood vessels, reducing the flow of nutrients to brain cells. This damages circulation, lowers oxygen supply, and compromises essential brain functions. 2. Causes chronic inflammation, neuroinflammation. Excess sugar fuels chronic inflammation, known as neuroinflammation. This inflammation is linked to diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and dementia. It silently destroys neural connections without giving immediate warning signs. 3. Reduces BDNF production. A sugar reduces the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, an essential protein. A BDNF acts like fertilizer for the brain. Helping create new connections between neurons. Protecting nerve cells. Improving mood and reducing symptoms of depression. The more sugar you consume, the less BDNF you have, and the harder it becomes to remember names, dates, or even where you left your keys. 4. Damages brain proteins. A sugar creates molecules called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These molecules damage brain proteins, making them stiff or brittle. This disrupts the normal functioning of neurons. 5. Hardens blood vessels. AGEs also harden blood vessels, making them less flexible. This makes it harder for nutrients and oxygen to reach the brain. 6. Speeds up brain aging. The buildup of ages and inflammation accelerates brain aging. It contributes to early memory loss and increases the risk of dementia. 7. Increases production of free radicals. Excess sugar increases the production of free radicals in the brain. These free radicals damage brain cells and disrupt essential processes. 8. Causes oxidative stress. Excess free radicals lead to oxidative stress, destroying cell membranes and even the DNA in brain cells. It's as if the brain is suffering small attacks that over time cause significant damage. 9. Interferes with sleep and impairs memory and learning. A sugar can interfere with sleep, altering neurotransmitters like serotonin. This affects the consolidation of memories, mental clarity the next day, and learning. On top of that, high spikes in blood sugar can cause something called brain fog, which is that feeling of having a heavy head, difficulty thinking and speaking, as if everything is slower. Have you noticed that when you eat a lot of sweets you feel more anxious or irritable? Or experience that mental fatigue like a fog hanging over your mind? That's sugar affecting neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, even impacting your mood. And as if that weren't enough, constant sugar consumption can also affect other areas of the brain involved in decision-making. That's why people who eat too much sugar often report food cravings and have more trouble saying no to other temptations. High doses of sugar cause sudden spikes and crashes in blood glucose, leading to irritability, anxiety, difficulty concentrating, depressive symptoms, and the most worrying part. In the long term, it dramatically increases the risk of developing mood disorders and neurodegenerative diseases. Maybe you're thinking, but I hardly eat sweets. That's where the real danger lies. Sugar is hidden in places you'd never imagine, like whole wheat breads, salad dressings, light yogurts, granola or cereal bars, packaged juices. Even these foods can contain 5, 10, or even 15 grams of sugar per serving. You think you're taking care of yourself, but you might be poisoning your brain. But don't panic. If you want to protect your memory and keep your brain healthy, here are a few simple tips. Always read food labels. Avoid soft drinks, boxed juices, and light, industrialized products. Use cinnamon, vanilla, or cocoa instead of sugar to sweeten your foods. Eat more healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, and nuts, which help protect your brain. Prioritize natural and less processed foods. Drink enough water, since even dehydration can affect your memory. If you want to keep your memory sharp and avoid serious illnesses in the future, start reducing your sugar intake today. It's one of the best gifts you can give your brain and your life. And now I'd love to hear from you. Do you feel like you've been forgetting things more often? Or do you know someone who's going through this? Let me know in the comments. I read everything you share, and I might create videos especially based on your questions. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to Healthy Life Without Secrets, and turn on notifications, because every week I bring tips and information to help you live a healthier life, with better quality, and a healthy brain. Until the next video.